All right, YouTube, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. November 10th, Thursday, basketball to jump into today. Only 4 games on the slate. We're going to jump into each game, give you my thoughts, give you what I'm thinking, give you my lean. But like I always tell you guys, my final plays, what I'm actually rolling with, and any added plays and stuff like that will be in the pinned comment. Last night we had ourselves a night, going 5-1. The only loss on the night was the Magic and the Mavericks over 213.5. And it's so funny. It's like these low numbers. And you guys know that I like unders, but these low numbers, we'll talk about a couple of them today in today's slate. But these low numbers like are a little bait on the hook, and I'm like, all right, it can easily go over. This is 2022 NBA basketball. And then still we're seeing these low scoring games. So definitely something to keep in mind as we move forward. But then our wins were the the Blazers and the Hornets under 221. I told you guys the model said this game was going under. Boom. It cashed. We'll talk about the models that we have and that we've built that are hitting at a crazy clip in just a second. But we also had Devin Vassell over 18.5 points. Now, the line was 17.5. I think eventually it moved up to 18.5 actually, like officially. But we had it at 18.5 early for plus 105 odds. That cashes easily. And then we had the both sider. Now, I don't know what to call these just yet. Like, if you guys know the name of the type of bet or strategy that I'm pulling off here, I know I've talked about it in a few different videos, but please let me know if you have like the official phrase for it. But what we're doing is taking, it first starts with like a close spread. Like last night, it was the Pelicans against the Bulls. If I think the underdog pre-game has a chance to win this game, or at least has a chance to come in and, you know, go on a streak or something like that, I'm taking the underdog money line to start the game. And again, I'm only doing it if I am somewhat confident that they can ultimately win the game too, because I don't want to take an underdog and then all of a sudden they're always losing throughout the game, because then this strategy doesn't work. But I take the Bulls plus 110 pregame, and then I wait for the Bulls to go on a run during the game, and then I hammer the Pelicans when they become live line underdogs, and we hit the money line there in a live bet, and we had that pulled off perfectly last night. Bulls plus 110 pregame, and then I think it was like 6 minutes to go in the first quarter, hit the Pelicans at plus 105 money line. So I'm sitting back watching, making money on the game, small money, like you do cut into your profit margin, I'm not denying that, but it feels nice to be able to watch a game and be like, I'm making money on no matter what outcome. I'm calling it the both-sider like play right now. Don't know if that's actually what it's called. But moving on, we also had DeMar DeRozan under 4.5 rebounds. And then we had Miles Turner, guys. Miles Turner for the ride of the day. A big hit here coming in from Max. Now, I didn't get it at plus 350. I waited till later in the day. But Miles Turner, double-double. I think he finished with 14 and 11, if I have that correctly. And I got it at plus 300 odds. Shout out to Max. A big 3-unit swing there with the ride of the day, guys. If you don't know what the ride of the day is, all you got to use is hashtag ride of the day in the comments. And I'll be jumping on board with one person's play in the comments. And then you guys will get a shout out win or loss in the next video. Now, I know we're delayed here. I'm getting through it here. But before we get into any of these picks, guys, I do want to talk to you about MyBookie, the best sports book to go over and play there, guys. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere from MyBookie. You can use the code GBS and the link in the description to get a deposit match. But MyBookie has a plethora, vocab word, a plethora of selections and odds and different features that they have. And you guys know I'm all about odd shopping and finding the best line possible for you. So if you're going to make plays tonight, why wouldn't you do it over on MyBookie? You get a deposit match on your deposit, your first time deposit. So make sure to check out that link in the description and use code GBS. It should auto fill in when you click the link, but GBS, very simple. Make sure to use that link, guys. MyBookie has a lot of cool features over there. Let's jump into these games. I'm going to talk about the formulas and the models that we're using this season that are hitting at an over 60% hit rate in just a second, but we might as well jump into at least one of these games so you guys don't get extremely bored. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got Dallas taking on the Wizards here. Wizards 4-point underdogs. Total is 209. I've seen it at 208 actually across some books, but I think 209 is the lowest number, or the number that I can get. Washington off a 3-day rest here. They beat Charlotte by 8. Dallas coming off of that game last night in which they lose to the Magic, which again, this Magic team's kind of crazy to me. This Magic team seems to cover games and win games when I least expect it. Then I look at their record and I'm like, oh, you're still like You know what I mean? But anyways, 87 and 94, Dallas. Christian Wood looks like he's downgraded to out tonight. In terms of Washington, Bradley Beal is out here. I think, I know it's a back-to-back. I don't love that, but I do think that Dallas is able to bounce back tonight against a Washington team that does not have one of probably their best player in Bradley Beal. So I'm going to lean Dallas here. I don't love this line and I don't love this play, but keep an eye on the pin comment to see if it becomes a final play. Because that total is so low too, we might be looking at some player props in this game for the unders. So make sure to check out that as well in the pin comment. If we add any player props, I do my best to give a little 3-4 sentence as to why I'm rolling with this pick, so you guys have some insight there. But keep an eye on the pin comment. In terms of a total, just like last night, I want to be like, oh, this game's going over. It's 209, right? That's super low. I'm sticking away from it. I lean over, but that's because like I said, I'm seeing the Christmas tree present under the Christmas tree, and I'm like, oh, I want to open it, but then you open the gift, and it's not what you want, right? So I'm sticking away from this, even though I want to put the over and press that submit button so badly. I'm sticking away from it, guys, just because I don't want to get burned again. But I do like Dallas -4. Like it. Not love it, but we'll move on here, guys. Miami taking on the Hornets. Hornets 10.5-point dogs on the road here. Miami also coming off that 3-day rest. They last played November 7th, in which they lost to Portland. Charlotte coming off of the back-to-back. Charlotte not coming off a back-to-back. Last game for them was against, it was a back-to-back. I'm getting my dates mixed up. I knew it. Trust this, not this. Doesn't make sense. Let's carry on. Charlotte coming off of a loss last night to Portland, 95-105. It was literally one of our plays last night. How stupid am I to be like, oh, it wasn't last night. That was the under that we hit. Miami, again, 10.5-point favorites here. No Gordon Hayward for Charlotte. Tyler Hero is questionable. So is Caleb Martin for Miami. Victor Oladipo is ruled out here. This might be a spot where we like Charlotte. I don't love the back-to-back situation against a rested Miami team that has a lot of veterans that probably can capitalize on that rest. But what I will say is I've been making money. I've been printing money with Charlotte this season when they have double-digit spreads. We talk about it over and over again, right? You look back at some of their games here, and they're just absolutely winning games even when they're 10-point favorites. So they beat Atlanta, at the end of October or so, and they were 10-point dogs. They beat Golden State as 10-point dogs. So I just think that this is a good spot for Charlotte minus the back-to-back. So it's going to be Charlotte plus 10.5 or bust for me here. In terms of a total, guys, maybe I see this one go over, but it does not strike me as a final play type of thing here, so I'm sticking away from it. All right, guys. I told you guys I wanted to talk to you about the models and whatnot that we have going on right now. Hopefully you guys don't mind this quick break. I'll try and get through it, but I do encourage you to become a baller on the channel, which is just the members on the channel, $2.99 a month. First and foremost, it is a great way to support the channel, and I cannot thank the ballers enough. We're going to start shouting you guys out like we did last season, picking a handful of you guys each video and shout you guys out, but it's a great way to support the channel. And this season, in particular, I was like, I got to give back to the ballers. You guys are spending that $2.99 a month. I know it's not that much, but it's something, right? It's something out of your pocket into mine, and I cannot thank you guys enough. So I was like, how do I do this? So I started sharing the models that we've used over the years to be profitable sports bettors. Right now, we have a great spread and total model that's hitting at like 58% on the season, which is profitable. And then the player prop scoring model is off to a ridiculous start this season. Overall, right now, so far, we're 388 and 295. That is a 57% clip. Last night, we go 67 and 42. All the NBA players with their lines out there, we go 67 and 42 at a 62% hit rate last night. That's two 60% days in a row with this model, guys. So consider becoming a baller. I'm posting this model for you guys daily. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, guys. We can keep going with the picks. We got Philly traveling to Atlanta here. Philly actually underdogs in this one. James Harden is the only injury for the Phillies. For Philly, he's been out for a while, as we know, and then Bogdanovich still out for Atlanta here. Philly coming off of a win against Phoenix, a dominating win, winning by 12 points for a very good team before the day off there, November 7th. And Atlanta playing last night against Utah. We were on the right side of that one in terms of our lean yesterday. Atlanta catching a loss to Utah. This Utah team is something else. Atlanta 4-point favorites in that game, losing the game by 6. I'm going to look at Philly in this one getting the point. Now, Philly has been a little bit of a letdown this season, but we've also seen a couple spots for them where we really predicted it right. And I do think that this is the type of game where they can sort of say, you know what, let's build off of that win against Phoenix and let's keep this game close. Now, they're getting a 1.5, so they're underdogs in this one. This could be a game that I talked about doing the both-sider, so keep an eye on the pinned comment, guys. I'll explain what I'm doing and write it out, and then I also note at what time and what odds I get the other side of it if Philly were to go on a run and Atlanta becomes a live line underdog. But that's probably my game plan with this game. I do lean Philly, so there you go, right? I'm like, okay, I'm confident in Philly enough to try and pull this one off, so that instead of the plus the 1.5, I take them probably plus 105, 115, whatever it is, and then watch the live line there for Atlanta to go down. It's not 100%, like Philly or Atlanta can go in and win box to wire, and they're never underdogs, but it is a decent strategy that hits at a decent percentage. So, and I'll make a video explaining when and where to do it, because you don't want to just do it for every game that's like a plus 1.5 point spread type of thing. It doesn't work like that. So I can always make a video that kind of dives into it, but that is the primary idea of this game. I also see this potentially being an over. 222.5. I think both these teams can put up 110 points, then a couple more baskets fall there, and you're looking at it over here. So maybe I peek at the over. I'm not sure though. If we have a lot going on in this game in terms of watching it live betting it, maybe we stick away from having that much action on a Philly-Atlanta game. But guys, last game of the night here, we got Portland taking on the Pelicans. The Pelicans coming off of a win last night to Chicago, which again, we played that really well. I feel like I've said both-sider like 20 times in this video, but that was the game that we pulled off last night. And Portland coming off of a win to Charlotte. So two teams on a back-to-back. Jeremy Grant, questionable. Jusuf Nurkic is questionable. And Keon Johnson's questionable for Portland. For the Pelicans, Garrett Temple, Larry Nance Jr., and Lewis Jr. all questionable for the Pelicans here. 7 points. I think I see it on the graphic. We have it at 6.5. I think this line has moved to 7 on some books. I don't hate Portland in this one. I think both these teams, you're not going to be really bothered by a back-to-back. We'll see with some of those question marks on either side. But I think I like the underdog to keep this game close. Maybe they lose by 4 or 5, but getting 7 points is a chunk of change that I'm willing to take. So keep an eye on the pinned comment. That might be a final play there. And that's all we have for you guys. Now, I've been doing this, and I wanted to save this one till the very end of the video, guys. You guys have been awesome when I give you like a comment word of the day. Also should probably think of a way to say that better. But I want you guys to comment wins in the comment. WINS, guys. If you're still watching this late in the video, if you're watching the outro of this video, I cannot thank you guys enough. So prove that you're watching at this point by dropping a wins in the comments. WINS. I only pick words I can spell, so a lot of these words are going to be short because dummy. But guys, hopefully you do enjoy the video. Obviously, we still don't have the setup. We'll be back shortly, but we're away right now. A little getaway in New Hampshire. So we're making do what we got. We got the graphics back and everything like that. Hope everything looks good. But I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.